Hello and welcome to Boardgames Factory. Today we have something very special for you. You are probably familiar with these books, The Song of Ice and Fire, which became really popular due to the TV series. So we have a second edition of the Game of Thrones board game. In 2003, Christian T. Petersen published the original first edition, which was later expanded by two products named after the books, The Clash of the Kings and The Storm of Swords. I personally think that the second edition was published due to the recent hype caused by the TV series. Today's review is really special because we want to not only review the game, but also compare it with the old products from this line. Now I will show you what you will get for your money. Well, let's start off with the box. The box is made in a standard typical for Fantasy Flight games. Inside you will find a cardboard inlay, which reminds me of Horus Heresy because of these things that let you hide some stuff on the sides. And there's also a small thing right here that lets you pull out the whole cardboard without any problems. Inside of the box you will find this game board, which is packed in this really nice bag, which protects it. The game board is made on a really solid cardboard, which I am used to when buying Fantasy Flight Games products. And as you can see, the game board has been graphically remade. However, it stays geographically the same as it was in the first edition. All of the tracks has been redone, and there's a really great addition on the map, the ports, which were originally introduced in one of the expansions. Fans of the book will find a great graphical accent over here, because the map looks like if it was painted on wood. And Stannis Baratheon owns a table that presents the map of Westeros, so that really reminds you of the book, and you will find lots of this kind of accents in the rulebook and in the game. The rulebook is made in a typical Fantasy Flight Games standard, and it's also made in a typical Fantasy Flight Games layout. So there are the usual sections: first the presentation of the parts, then the setup, then the rules, then the battles and everything. However, what surprises me is the lack of the frequently asked question section and the lack of the optional rules sections. And this is really understandable because they've introduced a lot of rules that were originally in the expansions, so I can live with that. In the previous edition we used to use the so-called starting cards. Well, we don't have it here. We will use these player screens as they have all the information needed printed in the back. It's also worth pointing out that they are much better than the previous player screens, as they are angled, so they are better in protecting our tokens from the eyes of our opponents. You will get 6 sets of parts for each of the players, which is really cool because originally in the first edition there were parts only for 5 players, and the 6th multiplayer was introduced by the expansion. So as you can see, we have the figures, the plastic figures, which are really crafted really nicely, and you will also get the siege tower, which was originally introduced in the expansion. Here you can see all the tokens for the orders. Unfortunately, the special house orders aren't in the second edition, aren't present in the second edition, but I think that they will be introduced in some kind of expansion, maybe, for the second edition. You will also get a set of house cards, which are kind of remade, because you will find a different set of characters there, and they have really different abilities than they used to have in the first edition. Okay, so this here are Westeros cards, which are really cool because they were introduced in the expansion previously. Now they are in the base of the game, in the core set. These represent different events that happen in the region, which is really cool. The uncool part is that there aren't many types of them, which gets boring really, because you get 10 cards in each of the 3 decks, and that's really not enough. That's not enough for the game to be interesting. This here is the Wildling set of cards, which is really cool because originally they were introduced in one of the expansion, obviously, and now we have them in the core set, which is really cool, and they represent different threats to the region. They are really cool because they are introducing this bidding element to the game. Here's the last set of cards that are in the game, and these are called the Tides of Battle cards, and they are some kind of simulation of a dice roll, and they add a lot of randomness to battles, which some may find really fun and some of you may find really frustrating. Okay, a little something about the dominance tokens, which are well known from the first edition. Okay, so the blade, it is pretty. The throne, not as pretty, because it's made to resemble the throne from the series, which I don't like. And the raven, well, I've liked the first edition raven better, because it was like, you know, on this blue tile. And for the rules that stand behind these tokens, they haven't changed. Game of Thrones is a strategic board game for 3 to 6 players from ages 14 and up that will take you from 2 to 4 hours. Right now I will explain the rules and show you the game board. Now, using this Valerian blade, I will show you all the icons that you can find on the map. So first of all, every land with an emblem of a given house is a homeland. There you can find a fortress and some supply icons. In this case, you can also see an port icon. Apart from that, you will find power icons, castle icons, and some bridges that will get you through this river. And this is the only way to get through this river. Apart from that, in every homeland you will find a garrison, which will guard your homeland in case of an invasion. Now I will show you the tracks on the map. So first of all, the round track and the victory track. The first person to get to control 7 castles or 7 fortresses wins the game. This here is the supply track. We'll use that to check out how many armies we can have on the board. Depending on the icons that you control, the supply icons, you will move this here barrel through a given spot, and then you can determine how many armies you can get. Okay, so here you will find 3 very important tracks. The Iron Throne track, the Fiefdoms track, and the King's Court track. Players will bid for the positions on these tracks, and depending on who has the best position, they will get these tokens, which will grant them some special powers during the game. Since in this example we are playing for 3 players, we will use this cardboard add-on to modify the King's Court track. Just like this. The last track is the Wildling track. If the Wildling marker gets to 12, they will attack instantly with the power of 12. However, if you will draw a Westeros card during the Westeros phase that says that they will attack instantly at any given power the marker is currently at. There are 5 types of orders in the game: defense order, right order, march, consolidate power, and support. The defense order lets our units to defend themselves, obviously, and its special version just increases the power of this defense. This is the right order. It will give you the power to cancel your opponent's adjacent orders, such as consolidate power or support Or, if you will use the special version, you can even cancel the defense order. This is the march order. It will let you move your units, and if you will use the special version of this order, you will get a small bonus to the attack. This is the consolidate power order. It will give you the ability to draw new power tokens, and if you will use the special version of it, you will be able to master new troops. This is the support order. You can use it to support in the battle adjacent troops. You can also use the special one to gain a small bonus in the fight. You may place the orders only on the lands that you have troops on, and you may only use a specific number of the special orders, which is defined by your position on the King's Court track. Now we will play an example turn of the game for you, so you can see how it all works. Remember that normally on the first round you don't play the Westeros phase. We begin every turn with the Westeros phase, when we draw Westeros event cards, and then resolve them by the numbers on the back of the cards. After resolving Westeros events and moving the wilding token, every player lays down his orders on the map. After all orders were placed on the map, we just flip them up. First, we'll resolve right orders by the order set by the position on the Iron Throne track. So these right orders will do nothing, only the Lannister right order will cancel the support order by Baratheon. Then we will resolve march orders. Lannisters will attack Baratheons here, and Starks will move through the sea right here. Before the battle, each of the players may choose one of his house cards, which will add their power to the battle, and also some special abilities listed here. Now we will sum up the total strength of the fighting armies. Lannisters will get 2 points for the 2 units of footmen, 4 points for their siege tower, and 1 additional point for their special march order. That means 7 in total. Baratheons will get 4 for 2 units of knights, 1 for 1 unit of footmen, 2 for their special defense order, and 2 for the 2 supporting ships. That's 9 in total. Next, each player will choose their house card. I will choose Sir Gregor Clegane, and my opponent will choose Melisandre. The last thing to do in resolving a battle is revealing your Tides of Battle cards. As you can see, the Lannisters have won. As you can see, there are some icons on the cards. If you have swords on your card, that means that if you win, you can kill as many opponent's units as the number of swords you have. On the other side, Baratheons have a tower icon. That will let you save as many units as the number of the towers you will have. Apart from that, inside of the Tides of Battle deck, you will find a skull icon. No matter the outcome of the battle, the skull icon will let you kill one of your opponent's units. After resolving the battle, we will now resolve the Consolidate Power Order, actually the special Consolidate Power Order, played by the Lannisters, which will be now used to recruit new units. The fortress, which is in Lannisport, grants us 2 points for recruitment. We can now recruit units according to the table shown. Now we will resolve all the remaining Consolidate Power Orders. We will get 1 point for each crown on the map, and each crown printed on the map. After all that being done, we will clean up the game from the remaining orders, and we will move the victory tokens on the victory track. As you can see, Lannisters gained 1 castle. Okay, that's all for the rules of the game. Now we will get back to our local store and tell you something about the strategies. And now for the strategy tips. It's really important to control sea areas, as they will give you the ability to attack a vast number of land areas and to perform surprise attacks. It is really important to hold the best available position on the King's Court track, because winning the game without the access to special orders is extremely hard. If you are sure of the victory in the upcoming battle, be sure to lay down 2 march tokens instead of 1, because if you win the battle, you will use the second march token to kill the units that were routed during the battle. If you are curious what can you expect from the future expansions for the second edition of Game of Thrones, you must look back and remember what came in the previous expansions. And I think this will be the tactic cards, the ally cards, everything that worked in the past should appear in the future expansions, because these ideas are still great for that game. Okay, so now it's time for the final verdict. When it comes down to the value of the things that you will get for your money, well, it's good, but it's not perfect. The game is often outclassed by the products in the same price level. When it comes down to the quality of the parts of the second edition, I'm really enchanted with the new graphics and the new figures. It's really perfect. The rules. The rules are very simple, easy and crystal clear. There's really no problem in understanding them. That's great. Adding rules from the previous expansions is also a really awesome addition to this game. On the downside, I don't think that the second edition rules support diplomacy as much as they used to in the first edition. The game is really fun to play. You will get sucked into this game from the very beginning. From the very beginning, you will get conflict, lots of conflicts between the players, which is really great. There's no downtime in this game, so you will enjoy this conflict and watch it evolve through the turns. That's really great, and you cannot ask for more. When it comes down to the random factor of the game, there are 2 options. You either choose to play with the Tides of Battle cards and the game is fun and sometimes frustrating, or you choose not to play with them and the game gets kind of boring when it comes down to battling. To sum up, you cannot overestimate this game, as it brought an entire generation of gamers to this kind of hardcore gaming that requires an awful amount of time. Our final verdict is 85.7%. That is a really great verdict, and this game is really an awesome remix of the previous edition and its expansions in a really pretty graphical new way. Really buy it. And if you like this game and if you like huge fantasy games, buy yourself Rune Wars. And if you like the Game of Thrones world, please buy yourself a Game of Thrones living card game. Buy it. Okay, so thank you for watching us again. Stay tuned for the new episodes and be sure to like us and share us on Facebook and any other of your channels. And if you are feeling like $1 million, buy yourself this one or this one and visit us at the Bard Store Krakow. O. Dzień dobry. Dobra, rozpoczynamy. Cześć, witam wam Czekaj, bo to rozśmieszył mnie Paweł, ja nie wiem co mam powiedzieć. To kamerzysta Paweł. Strolum. Mamy to. To nie będzie zbyt chamskie na kwiatki? Nie lubię Blair Waldorf. Tylko z całej plotkary podoba mi się tylko Serena. No, kamerzysta Paweł dzisiaj w humorze. Jedziemy do ciebie? Tylko najpierw sobie sprawdź, jak ci ręka wchodzi w kadr. Musisz sobie wymierzyć, jak ci wchodzi. Popatrz. Czekaj. Weź sobie tak żebyś widział to, co tam się dzieje. Jeszcze, rozumiesz? Ja będę tu, bo nagrywam, a ty nie ode mnie mówisz. Dobra. Czekaj chwilę. Nie, no sobie przejście, no dobra, czad. Żeby wpaść tutaj do Barda, w którym zagrze nagrywamy, do Krakowa, na Aleję Pokoju.
Przepraszam. Zagrze nie nagrywamy.
Everybody get fucking up. A, włączyłeś. This here.
Czekaj. Dajże chwilę tej kamerze.
Bo ty nie robisz... Which is... Nie powiemy tego w taki prosty, chamski sposób. Which is... Which are...
Zacznij od...
Teraz rozpatrz... Przestań!